Welcome or welcome back to my channel, and it's time to pick another TBR, and this time for the month of November. This year is going crazy fast. I can't believe it's already November, but that also means it's time to pick a new TBR, and that's what we're doing today. I actually did so well in October. The only book I didn't read for my TBR is this one, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I still want to read it because it's the season for this, but it's the only book on my October TBR that I didn't read. I think I read 8 books, and I'm currently reading 8 or the 9th. I can't remember. I'm currently reading The Bone Witch, so one of my TBR books, and I'm going through it fast, so I'll definitely finish that in October, I think. But this one got left behind, so that's going back on the TBR for November. I do have some new books on my TBR, and there's some big ones. Let's go through them. There are 3 new books. Alchemist is the first one, and I'm so scared for this. I actually think it will take me a while to start reading this, because what more do I need to say? I know people love this, but I am scared of it. I did, however, wanted to buy it, so I did. But I don't know if I will start it. It's not for this month. I'm sure of that. We'll see. And then I also got The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I don't know a lot about this book other than that it's supposed to be an autumny magical book. It says unicorn, mermaids, best raspberries she ever tasted. Weird. And it just sounds magical and it looks magical, so I'm very curious to this book. And then I also got lots of hardcovers this month. Wild Reverence, While We Were in Amsterdam for a Day, also with beautiful sprayed edges, and this is the prequel to Define Rivals, which I haven't read yet, but I'll just start with this one. Anyway, those are all the 3 new books on my TBR card, or actually the hardcovers are too big to fit in here. And like always, I already know the first book on my TBR for November, and that's because at one of my book clubs we already picked the next book, my local book club, and we picked Silvercloack by L.K. Stephen, which is Laura Stephen, which also wrote Our Infinite Fates, which I quite liked. It wasn't a 5-star for me, I know it is for many people, but I did enjoy it. And I actually didn't know that this book was also by her, because now she uses her initials. But as soon as I figured that out, I was more curious about the book. So we are going to read that this month, and then with my friend book club, don't know what book we're gonna pick after that until it's the 9th of November. So that will follow up. But for now, we're gonna pick 5 more books. I want to keep my TBR fairly small for this month, because I feel like I am getting into a huge mood reading era, and I just want to read what I want to read, basically, instead of having to keep up with my TBR. Not that I have to keep up with it, because it's my own choice, but when I make a TBR, I want to keep up with it, and right now I'm sort of getting in the mood of just reading whatever I want. So that's why we're only going to pick 5 books this month, and yeah, let's just start. My TBR jar is getting really empty. I think it's the last month we can use these prompts before I have to make new ones, but let's get started with the first one. Here we go. The first one. A book with dragons. Ooh, we did pick this before, and then I threw it back because at the time I didn't have any books with dragons. After that I did buy A Language of Dragons, but I already read that. Let's go through my newer books first. No, that's a cat and a bird on it, I think. Is this a dragon? It might be. Let's go through my other books first, but... Oh, wait. Is Red Rising about dragons? Let's just pick a different prompt then, maybe. Again, the first prompt. Book with a yellow cover. I think I have only a few because it's color coded, so these are my yellow covers, which is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I actually really want to read this because I feel like this is an fall autumny book, even though that it's not really fall, but for me I want to read books like this in the fall, so perfect. And then I also have X's and O's, which is a romance. Just recently on my vacation in August, not recently, read The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and I really liked that. I actually liked it a lot more than The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, is that what it's called? Because it was less YA. I don't know if this is a YA, but I am really curious to see if I like this. It says, Red Kenny is on a road trip with 5 friends when their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere. This is no accident. Someone is out there and someone wants one of them dead. The 6 friends must escape or work out which of them is the target. Okay, that actually sounds quite exciting. I think this is a good book for me for November. So let's pick this one first. Let's get the second prompt with a cover you love. Okay, so basically a free pick. But then based on the cover, I must say I love this cover by Wild Reverence and the sprayed edges. It's so stunning. So that is definitely a good option, but I have more options. I also love this cover, Let's Make a Scene, with sprayed edges inside. I also quite like this one, Blood of Hercules. That also doesn't fit in my TBR card, so some bigger books are over there. Ooh, and I also love this style of the cover of Love Rearranged, the 3rd book in the Lakefront Billionaire series by Laura Asher. And I really liked the 2 books before this, so I am really excited to read this. But if I must pick a book with a cover I love, this one definitely is the most prettiest of them all right now. So I'm gonna go with Wild Reverence. I really hope that this is okay to read before you read Divine Rivals, but we're just gonna go with it. I just really want to read this. So this is going to be my second book for November. Third one. Okay, come on. A book set in winter. Oh my god, that is perfect. Or actually, it's not quite winter yet, but that is actually quite perfect. But how am I going to find out which books are set in winter? I feel like when books are about summer, it's always very clear on the cover, but when they're about set in winter, it's not always clear. Okay, I asked the internet if some of my books are set in winter, and it came out with Ninth House. It's not specifically set in winter, but it's set in fall and winter. It's set in Yale, and I feel like the first few months of their studies at Yale. So I think this may be the best book on my TBR right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you see books on here and you're like, no, that's so wintry, you should have picked that one. But I don't know at this point. So we're just gonna go with Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. It's been on my TBR for not that long actually. I think I got it at the book swap recently. But I've known about this book for very long and I want to read it for quite a while now. So we're just gonna go with Ninth House. It looks wintry. I think this is the pick we're gonna go for. I am hoping for maybe another romance. This is the 4th prompt. 3-word title. Okay, exciting, because I think that actually gives me a lot of options. The Atlas 6 is a good option. Blood of Hercules back there. First Time Caller. Is that... I think that's 2 words. Ooh, Training the Heart. That's a cowboy romance. I might actually be in the mood for that. I just hear one of my friends scream right now, no, pick Blood of Hercules, because she wants me to read it so bad. But with the 3 books that we already picked, and then Silvercloack, which is a fantasy, I think I need some romance. Even though Wild Reverence may have some romance, I think I need something light beside that. So this is a good option. Oh, also Love and Focus, one of my Afterlight books. I'm gonna go for Training the Heart. This is the 2nd book in the Silver Pines Range series, if I remember that correctly. I think it would be fun to read another cowboy small town romance in between all of the other books. It says, Wade Ashby is a closed book. With the weight of the family business on his shoulders and his ongoing battle to escape a failed marriage, he only has time for one thing: looking after his range. Ivy Spencer, all these names, comes along and she works on the Silver Pines Range, training a racehorse en route to the Kentucky Derby. sounds fun to me. So this is going to be my 4th book. So let's pick the 5th and final pick for this month. Book with a pink cover. Okay, I have quite a few, as you can tell. And I also have Summer of Broken Dreams, and then Kingdom of the Fair. It might be a good one. I think I'm gonna go for Let's Make a Scene. I'm quite in the mood for this book. It's the 2nd book in a series, and I also have the 1st one, Under Your Spell, and I already read that, quite liked it. And this is a book with characters that were also mentioned in the 1st book. I think it's interconnected standalones, and this is about Cinti has a real acting job. She's over the moon, but her handsome co-star hates her, and the feeling is definitely mutual. 13 years later, have successfully kept their promise to stay far away from each other until a surprising offer comes to make a sequel to the cult classic that launched their career. Okay, that sounds quite exciting. I think I'm gonna go for this book. I'm just in the mood for some easier reads, I think. Yeah, this sounds perfect. I feel like we have a weird selection of books. Like they're so different, all of these. But I have 2 romance books, mystery thriller book, some academia, is it fantasy? Academia fantasy, and then some romantasy, I think. And then again, we also have Silvercloack, and there is another book coming with my friend book club. Oh, actually, we have some good sprayed edges. 3 out of 5 have sprayed edges. Yeah, and with those books being picked out, I think that's it. We picked all of the 5 books for November, and let's get back to reading. We have been renovating some things in our living room. We have been building a media wall, but that's sort of all settled now, and I feel like because of that, I'm probably able to enjoy more reading time in November, hoping for it, because it is quite a busy month. But October was an even busier month. So if I manage to read 8 books in October, I definitely must be able to read a lot in November. I'm not gonna put any numbers to it. We're just gonna see. But anyway, I hope you liked seeing this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up on this video, and please make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my upcoming videos. And yeah, that's it, you guys. I see you soon in the next video. Bye bye. Doei!